I'm not going to tell anybody that. No way. That's a metaphysic. The things you know that you guarantee you don't want to tell anybody else. Today on Secondhand Noobs. That's how I prepare for this Secondhand Noobs broadcast. Click the like button, subscribe. It's appreciated. But I got up and I was thinking about Badlands. Man, these are bad lands. Unacceptable. Well, my customer service agent in me says, "Is there any way that I can help you out, sir?" But of course. "Yes, son, I think you can. Would you teach me how to spit in the face of these bad lands?" Well, sir, you certainly have to learn to understand that poor man wants to be rich and rich man want to be king. We're talking about malevolence, bad deed, and benevolence, good deed. And we start to make these decisions at the big one. So you get to that big one. That big one. Now you've got to make a decision. Is it a good witch or is it a bad witch? But you really don't know because you're just one. Undifferentiated. That's undifferentiated. Cannot make a decision. I've been there. I've done that. It wasn't successful. And so I added to my evolutionary tract and went to number 2. But I had to resolve some issues early on in the late stages of the big one. That was 1 squared, 1 cubed, 1 anything squared or cubed or any higher will always equal the big one. Somewhat scary, but it does create a tad bit of curiosity. All of these interstates run through 44. The thing about Interstate 44 is pretty much Interstate 44 ran through my backyard for the first half of my life. And it's a very important number if you think about it from a metaphysic point of view. But of course, we're only on 1. Now, creeping into 2. And that's why it's a slow process. Patient endurance. It has to come into my head before I can say it, and I'm not really that confident I can say it. But it's pretty simple. Once you get to 2, we go 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. That's 248. So we've raised our level. We've moved into a higher vibration, a greater evolutionary strategy. The goal is to understand. And once you understand, then there's an exponential growth that could possibly take place. The thing about the days gone by, however far back you want to go, they didn't know their powers. There was just no way for them to evolve into an understanding of 1 to the 2nd power, 1 to the 3rd power. They did not know. That was an experience that had to evolve over time. And eventually, we understand the powers. Good luck. And we're only on the animal level. But you don't know what that means either. So that's where I'm at. See, I gotta have this kind of fun out there in La La Land, or I should say Leela Land. That's the way they said it in India. They have a metaphysic called the dancing Leelas. That's esoteric. But you gotta start somewhere. Why not with a dance? That's what got me into rock and roll. I enjoy listening to these philosophical secrets these great masters like Bruce Springsteen slide into the program as seeds. Poor men want to be rich. Rich men want to be king. Now, how simple is that? That's an egoic state, which would be the big one. Voila! We all know this already. That's why I call the show Secondhand Noobs. Like and subscribe. I'm starting to get there. Getting the flow working. Getting pumped up. Getting excited. Bruce does this kind of thing to me. Adam raised a Cain. Yeah, see? It's there. It's a seed, baby. Then you have to go into resolving objections. Jer Noobs, you're nuts. Other than me being nuts, what do you hear me saying to you? Jerry, you're nuts. Sir, other than me being nuts, is there anything else that I can help you with? No, thank you. So let me clear up some of this distortion I've just created. Okay, Interstate 44 runs through the four-state area, which includes Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. That's the four states that I come from. There are four metaphysical states: earth, water, fire, and air, and that's what they started with. That's the basics. That's when you have to formulate a metaphysic. And I started with my grandmother's name. Now, can you guess what my grandmother's name was? Snowball's chance. Leela. I'm sitting here, born in the four states, and my grandmother has the name of an ancient metaphysic from India. Dude, that's large. So, I barely remember my grandmother Leela because she died, and I must have been probably around 6. And you know how you are when you're 6, nothing sticks. Only little bitty nuanced things that first graders might get their heads around, like expanded notation. Well, luckily, my sister, her first name is Leela. So it was there all along, kept in secret, not gonna tell you, Jer, none of your business. And so I learned about the dancing Leelas, and I said, my sister has that name. That's cool. So I asked my sister, why do you have the name Leela? Where'd that come from? And she says, it's your grandmother. See, you get caught in these big one traps. But if you're patient and you endure, you'll go through these difficult times, and eventually you'll come out on the other side. And that's when you level up. That's the beauty of the games that our children are playing today. Is it might be a manufactured reality. We know that. But they learn from those experiences. And what we try to do is to advance those experiences up that ladder. And you can go anywhere you want, but you know the ladder that I'm talking about. If you're from the south, if you're from the north, the east, or the west, any of the 10 directions, you can easily discover how simple it is to find out these little bits of knowledge. What I try to do is I just try to be like the PR guy. Public relations, I just try to get the word out there. Little pop music. And that's what I do. I just think about this stuff, meditate on this stuff, come up with the crazy things that I say, and maybe people will find some enjoyment in it because that's what it's about. This stuff is going to happen whether you like it or not, so you might as well kick back and relax. And then you can at least see what's coming at you, which is kind of the point of the whole evolution. And that reminds me of another line from Bruce Springsteen. He titled this album, Darkness on the Edge of Town. We all have that darkness on the edge of town. Now, in the community that we're forming right now, we're building walls to keep those darknesses further away from our apple. That's another good one. And it's in the works.